Good evening. This morning at 6:11 a.m., a Grafton police officer, Thomas McNevich, was driving on Worcester Street in Grafton when he noticed this young 5-year-old girl walking by the side of the road in her pajamas. He immediately called for assistance, and Sergeant James Crosby of the Grafton Police Department responded. At that point, when talking to the little girl, they tried to make a determination who she was and where she lived. After speaking with her for about 10 or 15 minutes, they made a determination that she lived at 55 Worcester Street in Grafton. Police then went to the house. They could not gain entry to the front of the house. They went around to the back of the house. And shortly thereafter, Sergeant Crosby noticed that there was a man on the floor with a knife protruding from his neck. The police officers then gained a forced entry in the garage area of the house. They cleared the first floor of the house. When they got up to the second floor, they found the man who had the knife in his neck. And upon further search of the house, they found Kelly Sugarman, 36 years old, who was on the floor of her bedroom deceased. They immediately went back to the kitchen in the house. The gentleman was still had the knife protruding from his neck, was holding the knife to his neck. He was treated at the scene for the knife wound and was brought to an area hospital where he is still being held. Keeping in mind that we're very early in the investigation, the appropriate charges will be forthcoming. The medical examiner has accepted the case, and there will be an autopsy to determine the cause and manner of death of Mrs. Sugarman. The young girl was also brought to the hospital, to an area hospital. She was examined and later released. She's currently in the custody of the Division of Children and Family Services. Grafton Police, Massachusetts State Police assigned to the Worcester County District Attorney's Office are investigating with the assistance of State Police Crime Scene Services and the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner. MedStar Ambulance has been actively involved as well. Are there any questions?
Mother and father inside that house, right? It was the mother and father?
Yes.
And the father, he's still alive at this point in time?
The father is still alive at this point. He is at the hospital. We don't know at this point what the girl did see and did not see. She did say to the police officers in the vehicle that Mommy is sleeping, Mommy is sick. The police officer did a great job in ascertaining information from the 5-year-old that got her back to the house as quickly as they did.
Well, based on the evidence that you give some aspect of what you think happened, I know it's early, but what do you think happened?
I can't speak to too much as to what happened, but I do anticipate charges of murder being brought against Mr. Sugar.
Is there any point in time,
I don't know that.
have they had any domestic issues before? Has 911 been to this house or their previous house because they're new tenants to the area?
Chief can speak to that. I do not believe they've been to the house. Chief? No.
And this is obviously a heartbreaking situation. This is not something you wanted to go to today.
That goes without saying. For everyone involved. You got a 5-year-old on the side of the road now who doesn't have a mother. This has been a tough day for all the police involved.
So, Jerry, you're saying you don't know if she saw the altercation she might have seen just the aftermath of it?
I don't want to get into possibilities at this point. It's all part of the investigation. What we do know that she was on the side of the road. It appeared that she was walked into a preschool. She was a bright little girl. The police officer saw her in her pajamas, pulled over, started a dialogue, called for assistance. You know, Officer McNevich and Trooper Crosby did a great job. They did a great job ascertaining that information and getting back to that house. My understanding is the family had not lived at that location for very long, so they had to ask quite a few questions to get them back. They did a great job getting back to that house.
Did you know the mom?
Don't have his condition at this point, nor do I have a motive. I can't speak to motive at this point. We really are in the early stages of the investigation. Mrs. Sugarman has recently been removed from the house. The state police are really getting in there and doing their work now.
Does he have the same last name as Sugarman?
Yes, they both have the name Sugarman.
Michael Sugarman?
Either you'll get that to you. My understanding, yes, Michael Sugarman.
Any possibility that substance abuse was involved?
Way too early in the investigation for me to comment on that.
Condition of the woman's body, because she was stabbed or preliminary. I know that I can't get to the detail.
Right now, all I can release is that she was deceased. Again, we're getting the body's on its way to Boston. Medical examiner has accepted the case. We'll wait till we get cause of manner of death before we make any comment on that.
Does his wound seem self-inflicted? Was his wound self-inflicted?
It's a very good possibility that they were self-inflicted. I can't go any further on that at this point. We're gonna have to do a little bit more work before I confirm or deny that.
So
Joe, is there
a murder, attempted suicide in the hands of the husband at this point in time?
I don't want to characterize it as anything but what appears to be a murder at this point. I have to let our state police get in there. Detective Lieutenant Dowd is in there with his men and women now. We've got to let them do what they've got to do, and we'll have a better idea.
But
Joe,
do
is
you
there-
think there are any other suspects out there? You said it's not random. You believe that?
We do not believe it's a random act. We do not believe that there
Is there any
are
indication?
any other suspects out there at this point. Again, what we're going to do is just let the police do their work at this point, and they're professionals.
Have you been able to talk to Mr. Sugarman at all?
They're professionals. They do a great job, and we're going to let them do what they need to do.
What kind of knife are we talking on? This family said they had not lived there very long. Where were they
Moved
from?
into the house about a month ago. I believe they've lived in the Grafton area for about 9 years.
What kind of knife are we talking?
Can't talk about that right now.
Joe, any indication that the child was in any danger, that the father may have gone after her, that she escaped or saw?
Well, what we do know is that a 5-year-old child in her pajamas at 6 a.m. in the morning, walking up Route 140, where the speed limit is about 45 and 50 miles an hour. There's a danger in that regard. And also, coming out of a house, we got a murder. That kind of speaks for itself.
Is there an indication what time the actual altercation may have taken place?
Can't release that at this point. It's still part of the investigation. Again, we'll have, when the medical examiner's office gives this cause of manner of death, I do also believe that they'll give us an anticipated time of death, and that will allow us to do a little bit more.
And Joe, you said they lived in town for about 9 years. Was anyone? Were the police not called to that address in the last couple months, or the prior address as well?
My understanding is that they haven't been called to either address, Chief. No contacts.
So there's
Thank
no
you.
prior domestics with the couple?
No.
And
no.
what's the condition of the husband right now? You said he had
Again,
his
I don't know the condition of the husband. He's at the hospital and still being
Do we
treated.
have an age on this?
We're just wondering if he's on life
36
support, sir, or if he's talking.
Again, just what I gave you. We really don't know the condition of the husband. Charges will be forthcoming. The appropriate charges will be forthcoming, but I can't speak to his condition.
Did the couple have any other children?
Other than there was a knife wound in the neck when the police officer observed him, and he was holding the knife to his neck.
Did the couple have any other children, Joe?
So
Or just the
Don't know
one?
at this point.
would it be safe to say he was trying to kill himself?
I'm not gonna take that leap right now. We got to let the police do their work.
And Joe, obviously, I understand what you're saying with the little girl walking down the street in her pajamas, obviously being in a house. Was there any indication that that father may have gone after her at all, the child?
No, we don't have any indication. It has to be that.
Does the little girl have any siblings? Are there any other siblings, any other children in his family?
We're still looking into that, doing none in the house.
And full names and ages?
Timmy's going to give you all of that.
Any further explanation to why the animal control officer was here?
Yes, there were 2 cats in the house, and 2 cats in the house.
Okay, live cats that were removed.
Live cats who were uninjured.
Thanks.
Is there a local family and will the child stay with DCF?
Again, our focus has been on the investigation itself. DCF has custody of the child right now. The child is in a safe place. As safe as can be right now. There are family involved. Notification has been made. I don't know what arrangements at this point they've made or not made with regards to getting the 5-year-old.
So you may have mentioned this, but is there any
Okay. Thank you very much.
Your time.
Thank you.
There